Yeltz TV are proudly sponsored by the Big Pet Store and Ace Embroidery. You can check out the links to their websites in the description below.
Right, hi guys, welcome to today's post-match show on the Halesowen versus Blythe game. The score ended with Halesowen, grabbing a 2-0 win with two late goals, say late, 20 minutes in before the end of the half, getting the win and progressing to the third qualifying round of the FA Trophy, where they feature against Gresley in 2 weeks' time. Now I have Steve Wilson from the BBC with me, as you've probably heard his voice at Match of the Day as well. And so, Steve, what do you think about Blythe? Well, they might be out of the trophy, but the FA Cup's the main focus from now on.
Yeah, it is. I thought the right team won tonight. I thought Halesowen played well. They might have been in front 1 or 2-0 at half time. There were a couple of mad scrambles in the first half where Blythe were a little bit lucky to get away with it. First goal, very good. Hazley, I thought, took it well. Great header for the second. There you go. And so the right team won tonight. To be fair, Blythe were probably without 3 or 4 players who would be in their team. Couldn't get here. And a long journey, as you know, from Blythe here, because you've probably done it the other way, and it's a long way. It's a really big occasion coming up for Blythe. We're live on BBC Two, December the 5th, Friday night at Hartlepool. It's a local derby, Hartlepool Blythe. Yeah, so their focus is on that. And I was talking to their manager before the game, and he said, this is a difficult period for Blythe now, because the players have 3 or 4 games to play before the cup tie. But, of course, they've got one eye on the cup tie. They don't want to get injured. So it's sort of a slightly difficult next few weeks that they've got ahead of them, 2.5 weeks, I think, before the Hartlepool game.
Yeah, so it's a massive period, obviously, for them, especially possibly even reliving past experiences. So, what do you feel the players are going through right now? What do you think they're thinking?
Well, I think the first thing that they'll be thinking, and this is something that their manager Tom Waite said to me, is they're thinking don't get injured, because it's a great platform for them. It's great publicity for the club, but also it's a possibility for some of the players to try and impress. And I know they've got one lad this week having a trial at Carlisle. So if you do well on the telly with a lot of people watching, you've got the chance of moving on. And of course, apart from anything else, it's a big day for all their families. So I think their first thought was don't get injured. Obviously, when it comes to the day, they'll be playing a team in League Two, so there's a few divisions between them. You would think Hartlepool are at home. You'd expect them to go through, but I watched Hartlepool on Saturday at Southend, and their manager Paul Murray. It's almost a no-win situation for him, because it's only going to be about his 8th or 9th game as Hartlepool manager. It's his first job as a manager. You think about that. You're trying to make a good impression. 7, 8, 9 games into your career, you're at home, live on national TV to a non-league side in the FA Cup. If you lose, it's not a great way to start your managerial career, is it? So all the pressure's on Hartlepool, and I think Blythe can go and just try, and a bit of a cliche, but they can just go and try and enjoy it, and try and put themselves in the spotlight. For Hartlepool, if they win, everybody goes, oh well, they beat a team from the non-league, big deal. And if they don't win, everybody loves it because it's a story. So the pressure's on them. And one of the lads from Blythe has just said, you'll see a very different Blythe when we come to play Hartlepool from the team that we've seen tonight, not only in personnel, but I think you'll probably see a better performance from them. I think they were a bit disappointed with their performance tonight.
Yeah, especially with the long journey, they're not going to be back until about 3:30 this morning.
No, that's right. They set off at 1 o'clock this afternoon, and got here at 6:30 or something, and they won't get home till 2 or 3 in the morning or something. So I think in the end they were probably quite pleased it wasn't extra time.
Yeah. So, as a last question, what would you give advice to other people trying to get into the trade that you're in? What would you...
Well, I mean, I would say, one of the best things that you can do is really to do what you're doing now, get involved with your local club if you can. Any kind of media work you can do. If it's hospital radio, if radio's your thing, or local radio, put your hand up and volunteer, because it's all about being available and willing to try and get a foot in the door and make the most of any opportunities that come your way. And I always think that just being personable, firing out letters to people, ringing people up, being determined, and never saying no is the best way to get in, you know. And obviously you need a bit of talent, and obviously you need a bit of luck, and you need a lot of determination, because a lot of people want to do it, and especially football, because you know if you can't play football, then what's, you know, that's the best job, isn't it? But the next best job is being involved in the media covering football. So I'm really lucky, and things fell into place for me. So I wouldn't kind of say do A, then do B, then do C, then do D, but be persistent and be willing to work hard and do anything you can.
Steve, pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you
very
on the
much.
show.
Cheers.
Thank you.
No, thanks a lot. Enjoyed it. Thank you.
Well, there you have it from the master himself, Steve Wilson, BBC Match of the Day commentator here at Halesowen, believe it or not. And now we progress to the third qualifying round of the FA Trophy against Gresley on the 29th of November, right here. Now the next game will be Trafford away, and as it's the Yeltz TV first away day, there'll be match highlights and there'll also be a post-match show after it. So keep your eyes open on the YouTube show, and up the Yeltz.